so steeped in honor. It just goes beyond all the usual boundaries. A bond worth, well, literally shedding blood for.
It's almost hard to wrap your head around, isn't it?
It really is. So today we're doing a deep dive into this truly extraordinary story. It's about loyalty, about respect, and it comes straight from the disciplined world of martial arts, specifically Goju-Kai karate. Mm-hmm. Our mission really is to unpack this account from Hanshi Deena Naidu. It's from an excerpt called A Master's Unbreakable Bond. And honestly, it challenges everything you think you know about mentor-student relationships, about personal integrity.
It absolutely does.
And just tease it a bit. Mm-hmm. This isn't just, a nice story. It involves a legendary grandmaster, a moment of, startling self-sacrifice, and a blood-soaked belt, a very significant belt.
It's a narrative that really forces us to reevaluate, the depths of human connection. It makes us ask, what does it genuinely mean to stand by someone without any reservation?
Exactly.
And the sources we have, they offer this rare glimpse into a level of commitment that, frankly, many of us might find pretty difficult to grasp in our modern lives, right? These often quite transactional relationships we have.
Yeah, transactional is a good word for it.
So we'll explore not just what happened, but the immense weight, the resonance of an act like this within a tradition that just values honor so highly.
Okay, so let's dive into this incredible story. It centers around Hanshi Deena Naidu. Now, he's a renowned figure in martial arts, a master of karate.
Right.
But his expertise also goes into Kihatsu, which is about awakening intuition, inner strength, and he's also a spirit mind awareness, or SMA, teacher. So he focuses on the mental, the spiritual side of things too.
Which is crucial in martial arts, of course.
Absolutely. And he shares this remarkable account about the Grandmaster, Goshi Shihan, who was the head teacher of his organization at the time, a figure of, immense authority and reverence.
And for those listening who are familiar with martial arts, you already know that titles like Grandmaster and Hanshi, they're not just ranks. They represent decades of mastery, both physical and spiritual. Huge authority.
Definitely.
But in this story, Goshi Shihan wasn't just any Grandmaster. He was the lineage holder. He was the son of the founder, Grandmaster Gogen Yamaguchi Sensei, the creator of Goju-Kai.
Wow.
And an 8th Dan belt. I mean, that always signifies profound achievement, a lifetime's dedication. But this specific belt, it carried an almost sacred weight. It was a direct, tangible link to the founder himself.
So the significance isn't just the rank, it's the history of the person who gave it.
Precisely. The unparalleled significance isn't just that the belt existed, but how it was transferred through such a visceral, almost shocking act.
Right. And it's within this really profound context that Goshi Shihan, this almost mythical figure in Goju-Kai karate, did something so extraordinary. The source actually says it's utterly unique. Nothing like it in the organization's recorded history.
Unprecedented.
Yeah. So picture this. There's this moment of intense organizational tension. Goshi Shihan, driven by this deep personal commitment to Hanshi Deena Naidu, does something nobody could have seen coming. Mm-hmm. He takes a knife and just like that, deliberately cuts his own hand.
Just stops you in your tracks thinking about it.
It does. Then, with the blood still fresh, he takes his 8th Dan belt. And remember, this isn't just a symbol of rank, it's a sacred artifact. This was the belt given to him personally by his own father, the legendary Grandmaster Gogen Yamaguchi Sensei, the founder.
The weight of that object.
Exactly. And with his own blood now marking it, Goshi Shihan reverently places this historic blood-soaked belt around Hanshi Deena Naidu's neck.
Wow.
It's a gesture that it goes way beyond words. A visceral declaration of an unbreakable, almost spiritual bond.
What's truly astonishing here, as you said, is the sheer historical weight, the unprecedented nature of it. The source is explicit. Never before has anything ever been in recorded history of anyone in this organization like this.
Not even for top people, like vice presidents.
Exactly. Not even for them. So the core insight here, I think, isn't just about loyalty. It's about the currency of commitment in a tradition that values personal honor, maybe above institutional formality.
That's a great way to put it. Currency of commitment.
Yeah, this wasn't, a handshake deal or an email confirmation. It was a visceral, almost primeval assertion of trust, of lineage. Mm-hmm. An 8th Dan belt from the founder, passed down, then consecrated with the Grandmaster's own blood and given away. That's just an unparalleled symbol. It's spiritual, it's familial transfer, it seals a bond in the deepest way possible.
That's absolute unconditional.
Total unconditional allegiance, yeah.
So, okay, what on earth could provoke such an intense, almost ritualistic act of loyalty from a grandmaster like Goshi Shihan?
Right, there has to be a catalyst.
And the sources point to a very specific moment. It happened during a meeting. There was a state leader there, described as someone who, well, despised Hanshi Deena Naidu. Showed complete lack of respect.
Okay. Not a good start.
No. And this leader was apparently offloading incorrect things about him. Basically slandering him directly to the Grandmaster.
Oh, wow. In front of the Grandmaster?
Yes. Imagine the tension in that room, the negative energy, this state leader just aiming these words at Hanshi Deena Naidu, trying to poison the well with the Grandmaster.
And the Grandmaster's reaction. The source describes it, and it's really key to understanding what happens next.
How did he react?
It says he could not bear the nonsense coming out of the mouth of this man. He saw the slander not just as like a disagreement or office politics.
No, it was deeper.
Much deeper. He saw it as absolutely childish and worse, like reaching the shores of evil. That's a strong phrase.
Shores of evil. Yeah, that's intense.
So this wasn't just an organizational dispute. It was framed as a profound moral affront, a deep personal insult to someone he held in the highest possible regard. His reaction wasn't just annoyance, it was this deep sense of injustice. He knew Hanshi Deena Naidu's honor was being attacked unfairly.
And that attack just couldn't stand.
Exactly, it couldn't stand.
And the Grandmaster's response, when he later told Hanshi Deena Naidu about it, he revealed how immediate and unwavering his defense was. He said he just could not hold back. He had to intervene.
You can feel the pressure building.
Totally. And his exact words to the disrespectful leader, incredibly direct, just cut right through all the negativity with undeniable authority. He said, I cut my hand for this man. Now, why can't you leave him alone?
Boom. Mic drop moment, right?
Completely. I mean, think about the absolute crushing finality of those words in that context.
Yeah.
There's no comeback to that, is there?
Absolutely not. The power, the directness, it's undeniable. By referencing the physical act, cutting his hand, and the symbolic act, giving the blood-soaked belt, Goshi Shihan just immediately, irrevocably shut down the accusation.
Game over for the accuser.
Pretty much. It wasn't just a verbal defense. It was an assertion of this pre-existing, unparalleled commitment that had already gone way beyond any organizational politics or maneuvering.
Yes.
He was basically saying, look, my bond with this man is so deep, so profound. I've literally shed my blood and given him an irreplaceable piece of my legacy. You cannot question him. You cannot question my faith in him after that.
It's the ultimate testament to the depth of their bond.
Exactly. Asserting that he had already made this commitment that just superseded any petty organizational stuff, any whispers. It's a non-negotiable declaration. This is where my loyalty lies. Period.
So what does this all mean? Beyond the incredible facts of the story itself, Hanshi Deena Naidu's own take on it speaks volumes. He says, this is Goshi Shihan and his love for me.
Love. He uses the word love.
Yes. He describes the whole thing as a legend of love, bond, and blood together. It's not just a story for him. It's this living testament to a connection that runs deeper than any official title, any formal relationship.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, this act really forces us to confront the nature of true mentorship, true loyalty, maybe in its purest, most ancient form.
Yeah, ancient feels right.
It's such a stark contrast to our modern world, isn't it? Which is often so transactional. Professional relationship defined by contracts, by KPIs, by roles.
Like very delineated.
And Goshi Shihan's act just rips through that whole corporate veneer. It asserts that in certain traditions, loyalty isn't just professional respect, it's visceral. It's almost tribal, rooted in shared philosophy, mutual respect.
It wasn't just a vote of confidence.
No way. It was a physical, irrevocable covenant. And the profound insight here, I think, is that true leadership in this kind of context demands not just strategic thinking, but a willingness to be vulnerable, to literally put a piece of yourself on the line.
That's a huge point.
Yeah.
Vulnerability.
It really asks us, do we still understand or even value a bond that's so deeply personal, so steeped in honor, that it just overrides all the political maneuvering and defies any easy explanation?
That's a powerful distinction. It raises a fascinating question, though. How do we, in our modern companies or organizations, even start to cultivate that kind of deep personal allegiance without it, potentially becoming favoritism or undermining the structures we have?
Or is that the point?
Maybe. The point here that this kind of bond actually transcends those formal structures entirely. It wasn't about a promotion or a title for Hanshi Deena Naidu.
Exactly.
It was about affirming his worth, declaring unwavering support, no matter his formal rank.
Precisely. This kind of loyalty, born from deep conviction, a shared philosophical path, It isn't about hierarchy in the usual sense. It's about a profound recognition of someone's character, their spirit.
And the leader's willingness to back it up.
And the leader's willingness to stake their own honor, their own legacy on that recognition. I mean, imagine the psychological impact on Hanshi Deena Naidu. Not just the honor of the belt, but the immense emotional weight of knowing his grandmaster literally bled for his honor.
Unbelievable.
And for the state leader doing the slandering, it wasn't just a telling off. It was an unassailable rejection of their whole narrative, backed by this act of absolute physical commitment.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
It communicates that some bonds are just so profound, so deeply rooted in honor, they exist on a completely separate plane from petty politics or personal agendas. This story really challenges us, I think, to consider if our current leadership models, often focused on soft skills and alliances, have maybe lost touch with that raw, courageous conviction, the conviction to stand up for someone with such unyielding resolve.
It truly does. And the sheer uniqueness, the impact of Goshi Shihan's action within the history of Kojukai, it just can't be overstated. Like the source says, it wasn't just some spontaneous thing. It was an act that publicly cemented this unbreakable, officially acknowledged bond.
A bond never demonstrated like that for anyone else?
Never. Not even the highest ranking VPs. It was a statement that went way beyond words. A physical manifestation of almost sacred trust.
This wasn't a moment for debate. It was a moment for absolute silent understanding of the connection between these two men.
And this story ultimately highlights
exactly what he'd said. I cut my hand for this man. Now why can't you leave him alone?
That's not just standing up for someone. That's declaring to the world where your loyalty lies. Imagine having someone who believes in you so deeply they'd bleed for you. They'd stake their honor, their legacy, and their bloodline, literally, to show the world you belong by their side. This isn't just martial arts. It's brotherhood. It's family. It's love bond and blood, woven together in a way that can't ever be undone. That's the story of Hanshi Deena Naidu and the Grandmaster, a legend that proves true honor goes beyond words.